Sign out of Facebook, put your phone on silent, and pay close attention to this video. Thousands of people are already doing it every single day. All they know is a little system that you're about to find out today.
I decided to make a really short video about how I reversed my type 2 diabetes.
Now, just today, I was given my results from my last physical, and I can report that my blood sugar count is 110.
I am on day 15 using your method. I am completely off all medications. I have absolutely no negative side effects. My liver functions are normal, my blood sugar is normal, my energy is higher than it has been in years, and I feel great. This program has changed my life.
Hello, my name is John Callahan, an independent medical researcher, and I know exactly what you're going through. Just 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with diabetes. If you're a diabetic, you're very familiar with the needles that are used to inject your body with insulin. You're probably aware of your inability to lose weight, memory lapses, mental fuzziness, fading eyesight, food cravings, mood swings, heart and kidney problems, and low energy. Well, in the next few minutes of this short video, you're going to find out how I was able to completely reduce my diabetes and how you can reduce your diabetes to the point where you can talk to your doctor about the possibility of getting rid of those insulin needles and all your diabetes prescriptions for good. What you learn could mean the critical difference between losing your eyesight and going blind or severe kidney failure and spending the rest of your life hooked up to a machine on dialysis. If poor circulation is a problem, then you could end up enduring the never-ending pain of diabetic neuropathy. What's even more scary is that if diabetic complications occur, you could end up suffering horribly when your leg is amputated from your body. And I'm sure you already know that just a single error of insulin overdose could result in you going into an unrecoverable diabetic coma, or even losing your life due to a heart attack. Don't let your family, friends, and loved ones continue to watch you suffer from diabetic complications that happens to millions of diabetic sufferers every single year. Right now is the time to take control of your diabetes and seize your future. Now, I'm not telling you to throw out your needles or drugs just yet, but you may be able to very soon. In the very near future, if you follow the tips in this video and work with your doctor, you may be able to reduce and then eliminate them in a very short time. Not only that, but you may be able to get your doctor's okay to throw out your test strips, your tasteless diabetic foods, your vial of insulin, and all the expensive medications you take. Because as you watch this short video to the end, you'll finally be able to reduce and even possibly cure your diabetes using simple things you can do right from home. What's more, this diabetes solution can help you reduce type 2 diabetes, type 1 diabetes, pre-diabetes, and other problems you have with blood sugar levels. Better yet, if you do reduce your diabetes and work with your doctor to get off insulin, you won't need to spend money on co-pays for needles or insulin. You won't have to treat your body like a pin cushion, picking your finger to test your blood sugar or putting a needle in your belly to administer insulin. No, you'll be living happily and healthily, smiling as your condition is just about gone and your bank account bigger from not having to spend as much money on managing diabetes. No more roller coaster rides of feeling lightheaded from low blood sugar or feeling sick to your stomach from blood sugar that's too high. All you have to do is watch this short video, and I'll show you how I reduced my diabetes by up to 90%, while others even cured it. But just one word of warning, you'll want to watch this video while it's still online. The $250 billion drug industry doesn't want you knowing about a natural, safe, affordable option for reducing diabetes. Diabetes medications bring in billions of dollars worth of profits for drug companies. The solution I've uncovered can actually reduce diabetes, and in some cases without these expensive drugs. And if you're not spending your money on their medications, needles, blood sugar monitors, testing strips, or any of that, that's billions in profits out of their pockets. Do you really think they're going to put that money at risk by telling you there's a cure? So they'll do anything to keep this from getting in your hands. So you'll want to watch this now. You may think it's impossible to reduce your diabetes without medications, but I guarantee you've never seen the unique tricks I'll show you. Techniques that can reduce diabetes from home without using expensive drugs. So just be prepared to be shocked by what I reveal. You'll be very angry that something this simple, inexpensive, and effective has been kept from you on purpose. But it's not surprising once I found out how much power the drug companies have over the medical community, even government. These drug companies make so much money off diabetes, they have no interest in helping you get off their medications or insulin. Not when you're worth more than $14,000 per year to them. The most amazing thing about this unique solution is it doesn't involve any kind of exercise, and it doesn't involve eating a bland, tasteless diet. It doesn't involve any expensive or poisonous drugs. This diabetes reduction solution can get rid of the inconvenient need to test your blood sugar all the time or administer insulin as often, because you'll be working with your doctor and this program to see if you can slowly wean off the insulin. You won't believe the incredible freedom you have from this disease when you realize you don't have to test your sugar levels all the time and you don't have to jab yourself with a needle to take insulin as often. Life gets a lot easier. You can live with peace of mind knowing you're no longer a slave to this disease. You no longer have to time your day around testing your sugar or taking your shots. You're free to live the kind of life you want without the stress, worry, and anxiety this disease brings once you're able to keep your blood sugar constantly level. That means no more lightheaded feelings from low blood sugar, no more nausea from high blood sugar. It means a 90% reduction in your diabetes symptoms. Can you imagine how much better your life will be when you're not constantly worried or dealing with the negative effects of diabetes? Your life instantly improves. You're not always missing out on sweet treats like cookies and ice cream because of blood sugar spikes. If you want to enjoy a fresh baked chocolate chip cookie, now you can dig in and not have to worry about it throwing your blood sugar off. In other words, life gets fun and back to normal when you don't have that constant albatross of diabetes around your neck. No more waiting in line at the pharmacy to pick up expensive and dangerous medications. No more pricking your finger and dropping blood on a test strip. And it's also possible that in time, working with your doctor, there's no more having to buy more needles or insulin. No more spending thousands on special foods or drugs. None of that. Which means you have more money in your pocket each month. When you can get rid of these inconveniences, it feels like a giant weight lifted off your back. And the good news is, I can help you enjoy the happiness and freedom that comes with reducing your diabetes down to almost nothing. Imagine how you'll feel knowing you'll get to see your kids grow up and live productive lives. Imagine knowing your loved ones won't have to worry about you passing away too early or having one of the countless diabetes complications that result in heart attack, loss of eyesight, kidney and heart problems, and even having a leg amputated. Imagine the relief they will feel when they know you'll be around to watch them grow up, graduate, get married, have kids, and live life. You won't have the overwhelming worry and anxiety that comes when a parent feels they may leave their children too early, not able to be there for them through life. Now, I understand I'm making some pretty big claims right now. I get it that you're probably skeptical, especially if you're dealing with this disease. But you have to hear my shocking story. Because when I uncovered the methods for reducing my diabetes quickly and easily from home, it was the happiest day of my life. I was even more happy when I learned that other diabetics started using my same unique tricks and were actually seeing their symptoms reduce and even disappear permanently. And like me, they were able to reduce diabetes from home, and like you may be able to do too. Some even worked with their doctors to get rid of all those constant pricks of their finger to test blood sugar. They were able to reduce or even get rid of needles to give insulin. No more trips to the pharmacy for expensive medications. Again, I know this sounds pretty far-fetched right now, but all I'm asking you to do for a few minutes is to suspend your disbelief and just keep watching the video. I promise you'll be rewarded in the fact that I'll show you how I reduced my disease and how you can too. What's more, this works no matter your age. It will work for both young and older. No matter if you have type 1 diabetes or type 2, you're pre-diabetic, or you have abnormal blood sugar readings, it can be reduced by 90% and in some cases eliminated. Even if you've tried to do something about your diabetes, even if you think there's nothing you can do, even if you've used other treatments or medications in hopes it would help, I can bet you've never seen or tried what I'm about to show you. This simple, natural method has helped over 2,104 other men and women to reduce the symptoms of their disease, even as their doctors told them it wouldn't work and that they were putting their health at risk. These men and women decided to give this method a shot. I get emails every single day from happy men and women who told me their lives have changed for the best once they were able to use my advice to reduce their diabetes. It's important you hear from other diabetes sufferers and see how they used my solution to help them reduce the complications it causes. Here's an email I received from Carlos in Los Angeles, California. John, my name is Carlos, and I just wanted to send you this email about how much your program helped me. For me, what Diabetes Reducer was, give me my life back. No longer do I have to worry about checking my blood sugar multiple times a day. I no longer have to worry about injecting insulin into my body every day. This program has given me the freedom from having to worry about if I'm going to be there for my 13-year-old daughter or not. My life is changing for the good. Thank you so much, John and Diabetes Reducer. I will be forever grateful. And another one from Mike in South Carolina. John, at first, probably, like a lot of people, I was skeptical about your presentation. I had seen many presentations like yours before that never lived up to the promises. But my situation was pretty desperate as my blood sugar levels were getting higher and higher and my health was deteriorating. I was gaining weight, my eyesight was getting worse, and my family was getting worried. I tried your Diabetes Reducer program, and boy, am I glad I did. The next time I went to see my doctor, my blood sugar levels were as normal as when I was 25. And guess what? I turned 70 this year. John, thanks so much. Everything inside your Diabetes Reducer program was exactly as you said it would be and literally changed my life. And here's an email I received from Jane in Dallas, Texas. Hello, John. After my husband was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, I knew I had to do something to help him. We couldn't believe after a long and healthy life that now he was being diagnosed with such a horrible disease. A year later, now my husband is medically diabetes-free, and the doctors hardly ask to see him anymore, except for routine checkups. His blood sugar levels are more than normal than they have ever been, and we're living life to the fullest. Thank you so much. You and your program have been a blessing. Anything they've done, you can do too. I receive emails every day, and I love it. I've been overwhelmed by the number of emails I've gotten from men and women telling me they've been able to reduce or even get rid of their drugs, testing strips, needles, and insulin because their blood sugar numbers were perfect and their doctors gave them the okay. Sure, I'll admit I'm embarrassed about telling everyone my story, but I want to share my shocking story with you because it will show you that there's hope for you too, that you can improve your condition by using the same method I used. These days, I'm happier and healthier than I've ever been. And I owe it all to learning about these unique tips and tricks for reducing my diabetes. I remember the day I was in my doctor's office when he sat me down and looked in my eyes and said, rather matter of fact, that I had type 2 diabetes. I wasn't really that surprised considering my mother had it when I was younger, but still, when he told me I had it, I felt like I'd been kicked in the stomach. I felt nauseous, like it was the end of my life or something. I saw the toll it took on my mother's health and how she was always constantly battling it. She couldn't really move well because her legs and feet were always swollen and bothering her. She couldn't eat the kinds of food she liked. Instead, she had to eat bland, tasteless food. As she got a little older, it got worse. It hurt me to see, especially since she looked sicker each passing year. And it wasn't more than 5 years after her diagnosis that Mom passed away from the complications of diabetes. I found out years later she'd had died of heart disease. So you can imagine that day in the doctor's office when I was told I had diabetes, I felt like I was given a death sentence. I was in shock, scared of what would happen, anxious about not being around for my children. Well, I left and filled the prescriptions the doctor gave me, but they made me feel horrible. I'd feel nauseous, I gained a bunch of weight, I felt tired all the time. I just didn't feel like myself. Part of me felt like giving up and throwing in the towel. Part of me didn't care if I died right then and there. Sure, that may sound pretty dark, but I was really depressed about it all. For a few weeks, I was moping around the house, feeling hopeless. But that all changed one day while walking past my kids. Seeing them sitting on the couch playing their video games, I was hit with a sudden wave of sadness and anxiety, worried that they were going to grow up without me. But a few seconds later, I felt a strength unlike anything I had ever felt. I knew what it was. I refused to give in to this disease and let my kids watch their father give up on them. I was not going to let them go through life without being there to protect them. That was the day everything changed. The day I vowed to wage war on diabetes and conquer it. I refused to let it take me away from my kids and wife. I vowed I was going to be around for a long time and see them graduate, get married, and have kids of their own. I decided that diabetes picked a fight with the wrong person. Now, as you can tell from watching this video, I'm still here. And sure enough, I did win my battle against diabetes. More importantly, I reduced my symptoms by over 90% without taking harsh, dangerous medications that could damage my organs. These days, my life's passion is helping other men and women battle against this disease and come out healthier and stronger. I want to help you wage your own war against this disease, and I'm going to arm you with the same unique, safe, all-natural solutions I used to reduce my diabetes symptoms by 90%. I want you there for your kids as they go through life. I don't want them going through what I did when I was fairly young, watching a parent pass away slowly and sickly. That day, when I vowed to find a safer, all-natural, and inexpensive way to battle diabetes, instead of spending a ton of money on harsh, dangerous drugs that poison your body, the thing I found out through my diabetes research that upset me the most was almost all of the diabetes medications go through very short clinical trials before they're on the market. Instead of spending billions of dollars on clinical trials, they spend money by lobbying the FDA and putting money in their pockets to help drugs go through the approval process faster. So the drug companies pad the pockets of the FDA and get their drugs approved in record time so they can start selling them on the market a lot faster. And if they have to pull a drug from the market for safety reasons, the drug companies have already made billions. I'm sure you've heard news stories about drug companies having to pay billions of dollars in lawsuits because one of their drugs caused deaths. Actos, a diabetes drug, is facing a rash of lawsuits because their drug caused an increased risk of bladder cancer. For pharmaceutical companies, it's much more profitable to release these drugs, sell billions of dollars of them, and then pay out a few $1,000,000 for lawsuits. These drug companies employ an army of well-paid drug salespeople to go out and bombard doctors' offices with promises of free trips, luxurious bonuses, and other expensive perks that can tempt a doctor to prescribe a diabetes medication even if there are known side effects. So if you think the FDA or drug companies have your own best interests at heart, just remember that the FDA is made up of humans, and they can be tempted and influenced by the money these billion-dollar drug companies wave in front of them. What would happen if they gave people a permanent cure for diabetes? That's right, you wouldn't need to keep taking these drugs. What makes more money for the drug companies? Selling you a drug that cures diabetes for a one-time $100? Or giving you drugs that manage it, but you pay $30 every month for life? If you're able to keep your diabetes under control with their meds, chances are you'll take it for as long as you can. This means a steady flow of cash from millions of diabetes sufferers. But if you knew that you could reduce your diabetes by using a few all-natural steps, would you even bother spending money on harsh diabetes drugs? Of course not. Well, this is why this stuff is kept under wraps by the billion-dollar drug companies. They don't want you using inexpensive methods. They want you using their drugs that bring in cash. So if you want to blame someone for not knowing there's a safe, affordable way that's not poisonous to your body, blame the drug companies who profit from keeping this from you. Look, I'm just a regular guy who happened to find a proven way to reduce my diabetes. The good news is, not only did I figure out a safe, all-natural way to do it, I figured how to do it from home, without needing expensive, dangerous drugs. I even worked with my doctor to wean myself off insulin, and you may be able to do the same thing. I read research journals on diabetes, medical reports on blood sugar, and books on overall health and wellness. I came across many research reports that showed proof of certain herbs being more effective than harsh medications when it came to battling diabetes. After each medical research report I read, if there was a published study or trial, and if it showed something natural and safe that worked, I jotted it down. I continued with my studies and learned about several natural remedies and treatments for diabetes. As I read more and more scientific studies, I learned all about blood sugar and how your body is supposed to regulate insulin release and blood sugar levels. In fact, a shocking report in a journal called Diabetes explained how something called brown fat could be the key to controlling and even eliminating diabetes. A new study of men with and without brown fat has shown for the first time that brown fat increases blood glucose disposal and insulin sensitivity in humans. It said that brown fat will likely emerge as a target in the battle against diabetes. According to the researchers, senior author Labros S. Sedosis, MD, of the University of Texas, told Medscape Medical News, "We've shown a clinically significant effect of brown fat on whole-body glucose homeostasis, and this means brown fat may function as an anti-diabetic tissue in humans." I learned that many scientists were calling brown fat the secret to winning the battle against obesity and diabetes. They went on to say that brown fat improves insulin sensitivity and blood sugar control, making diabetes almost a non-issue. These studies proved that brown fat could function as an anti-diabetic tissue in humans, because of its ability to improve metabolism, fat burning, blood sugar regulation, and more. So not only does activating brown fat in your body help to regulate blood sugar and eliminate diabetes, it also helps you to lose weight effortlessly. It appeared that no matter what age you were, no matter if you had type 1 or type 2 diabetes or were pre-diabetic, by activating and increasing the amount of brown fat you have, you can literally reduce problems with blood sugar control and insulin release. With all of the research I had done, I started to come up with a proven plan to win my battle against diabetes. I knew I could work on increasing and activating the brown fat in my body. I also had a list of proven herbs that showed positive effects against diabetes. These were safe, natural, inexpensive ingredients I could find at my local grocery store for less than $20.
What happened when we gave the solution to real people suffering from diabetes? Let's find out now.
Hey, my name is Carol. I'm from Chicago, and I have had type 1 diabetes since I was born. It runs in our family, and it's just something I've had to struggle with for pretty much my entire life. No matter what I've tried in the past, I have never really been able to get my sugar under control. Even with taking my insulin, my sugar was always high. That was until I found your program, and I am telling you, I cannot believe how well it's worked. I thank God every day that I found it, and I am completely off of my medication now. My sugar is under control, and I have even slowly started to experiment with adding new foods back into my diet, like even cakes and cookies, and my sugar has remained steady. So I have to say thank you so much.
And for type 2 diabetics, the results are even more exciting. Since the IGF will reduce the need for insulin, your pancreas doesn't need to work as hard. This allows the pancreas to regenerate itself, become revitalized, and return to normal functioning. Like this.
Hey there, I'm Michael Burrell, and I am a type 2 diabetic. Well, I was a type 2 diabetic, and only about one day into the program, I thought, well, let's take a look, and so I checked my glucose reading, and I thought that the meter was broken. It was at 118, and that was down by 100 points from the day before. And anyway, this is really a way to treat diabetes, I think. You have certainly convinced me. I think that this is going to save a lot of lives. So this is my video.
My blood sugar went from 192 to 105 in only 8 days. I'm off all but one of the meds, and my doctors now say that I no longer need daily insulin. This is nothing short of a miracle.
I was confident I had uncovered the natural, safe solution to controlling my blood glucose and reducing my diabetes using simple ingredients and proven methods. For close to 6 months, I read through countless medical journals, research reports, and books, finding any tips and techniques I thought would help. And if it made sense, I tried it, using myself as the guinea pig for the next 6 months. If I read about a natural herb that could help regulate my blood sugar, or if I learned of techniques to increase and activate my brown fat and control my blood sugar, I tried it out and kept track of what worked. As time went on, I kept a written record of the methods, herbs, and solutions that worked to either increase the amount of brown fat I had or controlled my blood sugar. And sure enough, I came up with unique tricks to regulate my blood sugar, stabilize insulin release, and increase my metabolism, reducing my diabetes symptoms by 90% and helping me lose a lot of the weight I had gained from the medications. My blood sugar went from an average of 310 a week to an average of 210. After 2 weeks, my blood sugar average was 125. Not only was my blood sugar much lower and more stable, I was losing a lot of weight too, without even trying. Because of my experience and pain, I discovered a unique system you can use to self-regulate blood sugar levels, reducing your diabetes. That way you don't have to live a life using harsh, dangerous, expensive medications that you don't need to take. You can permanently reduce your diabetes symptoms like I did, safely and naturally from the comfort of home without expensive, poisonous medications. Any of the herbs or natural products I use to regulate my blood sugar levels, I simply bought from my local grocery store for less than $20. It was quite amazing how all it took was herbs and a few simple tricks, and my blood sugar levels dropped dramatically from 310 to 125. I never dreamed I could reduce my blood sugar levels by so much, so fast, and so easily. After talking to my doctor, he agreed to reduce my medications, as well as my insulin, to see if it would make a difference in my blood sugar levels. I started taking lower doses of medication and insulin. I also tested my blood sugar once a day instead of 4 to 5 times a day. After a week, my blood sugar levels remained at 125. The next test was, I started eating a few sweet treats I normally wouldn't allow myself to eat. That night for dinner, I had a big plate of pasta, which normally I wouldn't have. With it, I had a dessert of brownies and a scoop of vanilla ice cream. An hour or so later, I tested my levels, and my blood sugar levels were at 126. Right when I saw those normal readings, a wave of happiness came over me. Finally! No more waking up each morning to prick my finger and test my sugar. No more standing in line at the pharmacy to pay for an expensive medication that poisons my body. Finally, I was going to be able to enjoy a normal life again. Ice cream, cookies, cake. I could enjoy my favorite foods and not feel deprived. I could go back to doing the hobbies I loved without worrying about feeling lightheaded or that my legs would hurt. My life improved so much when I was able to permanently control my blood sugar and keep them in normal range using the techniques I had discovered. I was able to stay off expensive medications that made me feel sick to my stomach. My clothes started getting baggy on me. Sure enough, I stepped on the scales one day and saw that I weighed 22 pounds less than when I started the testing phase of my research. It was amazing how easy it was using the herbs I read about and the methods to increase my body's brown fat. The safe, natural ingredients and unique methods were regulating my insulin release, controlling my blood sugar levels, and activating more brown fat. In just 4 weeks, my blood sugar was in the normal range, a place it hadn't been in years. More importantly, it stayed there for good and remains there today. I feel so free now that I've been able to eliminate diabetes while still enjoying all of my favorite foods. That's right, I haven't had to give up pasta, sweets, cookies. I eat anything I want. Talk about a much more fun way to live when you can eat the foods you really enjoy without the worry of dealing with sky-high blood sugar. I feel like I've turned the clock back 10 to 20 years. I feel and even look so much younger. I have more energy than I did when I was in my 30s. I don't get dizzy spells like I used to or any overwhelming feelings of fatigue. Instead of poisoning my body and organs with nasty drugs, I'm using all natural and 100% safe methods and ingredients. And my life is so much more convenient too now that I'm not having to prick my finger and test my blood sugar every few hours. I'm no longer having to go to the pharmacy to pick up expensive and harsh medications. I don't have to give myself shots in the belly to keep my blood sugar levels normal. All I have to do is make sure my brown fat is on the increase and use the herbs I learned about.
If you want to experience these exact same results for yourself, if you want to eliminate all your diabetic symptoms, treat diabetes from the source, and do it all in just days, all you need is 3 things: the right information, the right program, and the right ingredients. And in just a moment, you're going to get all 3 basically for free. You will actually be able to begin the healing process within the hour in the program you're going to receive, because you are about to learn an exact system tailor-made for you.
Once you follow the same steps I'll show you, you can increase the levels of your brown fat in your body by eating a certain way. You can actually increase your body's levels of brown fat that can help regulate your blood sugar. It's true. The quick, easy methods I talk about in Diabetes Reducer increases your brown fat, regulates blood sugar and insulin release, and naturally reduces diabetes. With a list of proven foods and techniques I recorded, you can follow Diabetes Reducer to reduce your diabetes to be almost non-existent, and work with your doctor to possibly wean yourself off your insulin if your doctor feels your numbers are great from using the program. And you can do it in just 4 short weeks right from the comfort of home. I want to let you know that you don't have to put up with the needless suffering that this disease can cause. Diabetes Reducer is the only solution for reducing diabetes anywhere. I use this information to reduce my diabetes to almost be non-existent. You can just copy the same treatment plan I personally used to reduce my diabetes by 90%, so that you can feel like you don't even have diabetes. Now, you too can do it without using dangerous drugs. You can do it without getting rid of your favorite foods. You can do it without dieting or exercising. You no longer have to spend money on treatments or medications that don't get to the root cause. This is the first and only program that helps permanently reduce diabetes symptoms in just 4 weeks using methods you can do at home and herbs you can get at your grocer for $20. Since releasing this program to the general public, I've been overwhelmed by the number of emails I've gotten from men and women telling me they've been able to reduce or even get rid of their drugs, testing strips, needles, and insulin because their blood sugar numbers were perfect and their doctors gave them the okay. Just picture it. In a very short time from now, you're free from the stress, worry, and anxiety that diabetes can cause. You're free from standing at the pharmacy and spending a lot of money on dangerous drugs that simply mask the symptoms and poison your organs. Instead, you're using simple tricks you can use to regulate your blood sugar and increase your brown fat. As a result, your blood sugar is in normal ranges sooner than you can imagine, and the excess weight is falling off your body too. Now you can fit into those old clothes you miss wearing, except you don't have to work at weight loss. It just happens when you regulate your blood sugar. You're enjoying the foods you like. You're treating yourself to sweets you normally wouldn't. You're loving your life and all the improvements that happen after reducing your diabetes symptoms. Wouldn't that be awesome? To get your life back. All from using a program that's full of safe, natural tips and tricks. Well, if you take advantage of my program, you can reduce your disease and not have to suffer through constant blood sugar testing, stabbing yourself with needles, and avoiding sweets. You won't have to spend money on expensive drugs that poison your system. With my all-natural program, you can enjoy life and feel better than you've felt in 20 years. You'll feel stress-free when you realize you're no longer at the mercy of this disease. Sound good? Believe me, it is. Now look, I know we've gone through a lot here. I get that. And you may be feeling a bit overwhelmed and perhaps a bit confused. That's okay. There's a lot to think about when you're dealing with a disease like diabetes. But when it all comes down to it, there are two things you can do from here. You can take what you've learned here today and go off on your own and try to reduce your diabetes. You can try to research the herbs that will help regulate your blood sugar. You can find all the ways I know to increase and activate your brown fat levels. You can spend the 6 months I spent poring through all the research, reports, and medical journals. And you can spend the 6 months I spent testing this stuff on my body. And who knows? You may find a lot of the same tips and techniques that I found. Or there's choice number 2, which is the quick, smart, and affordable way to reduce your diabetes symptoms. And that's by copying what I did. I've already spent months digging through medical journals and reports. I've already spent hours using myself as a human guinea pig. I can save you all the time, effort, money, and frustration by using what has already been proven to work. Why start from scratch and reinvent the wheel when I can show you, step by step, exactly what to do to reduce diabetes like I did? My methods have already been tested and proven to be safe and effective for thousands of other men and women too. Men and women who are living a happier, less stressful life now that they're not dealing with the complications of diabetes. This is the first and only program that's been proven effective when it comes to safely and naturally reducing diabetes symptoms 90% or more. And you can do it right from home in just 4 weeks or less. Just use my safe, affordable, and natural tips, and you'll regulate your blood sugar, regulate your insulin release, and increase your brown fat, and start to enjoy perfect blood sugar numbers. Better yet, you'll get rid of the stress and worry this disease can cause. You'll finally be able to enjoy all of your favorite foods, even the sweets. You'll enjoy more energy and more happiness. You'll get rid of fatigue. You'll start getting the lean, healthy body you want. And you won't have to sacrifice your lifestyle to do it. The results come fast, too. You can start to see better blood sugar readings in the first week. And by week 4, your diabetes symptoms are almost gone for good. But again, you'll start to see your blood sugar regulate in the first week and notice your readings drop fast. After realizing this natural diabetes curing method would be so successful, I've made it my mission to help over 1 million diabetes sufferers reduce their disease using my all-natural, safe, and proven effective program. I want you to experience the magic you'll feel when you finally realize you're no longer a slave to this disease. You no longer have to schedule your entire day around testing your blood sugar or waiting in line at the pharmacy. I want you to feel the stress melt away off your back when you realize that your blood sugar readings will be perfect. I want you knowing you're going to be around for a long time for your kids. No more worry about leaving them too soon. I want you knowing that you'll be there for your wife and family. You won't have to leave them constantly worrying when this disease will take you from them. No more feeling deprived of simple joys like having a piece of cake. When you use Diabetes Reducer, You don't have to turn your life upside down. There are no drastic lifestyle changes. The fact is, managing your diabetes the way your doctor tells you to do is expensive. Between insurance copays and paying for things not covered by insurance, it can cost anywhere from $1,000 per year all the way up to $5,000 per year or more if you don't have insurance. It's been said that most diabetics pay anywhere from $75,000 to $100,000 on medical costs in your lifetime of managing their disease. Managing, not curing. So you're paying $100,000 to stay the same. That's money you could use to take the vacation of your dreams, put your kids through college, or have a more comfortable retirement. Like I said, I want to help as many people as possible to reduce their symptoms of this disease without spending that money. If you order now, you won't be just getting the Diabetes Reducer program. I'd like to give you a number of bonuses I personally created, free of charge. Just the bonuses alone are sold separately, each for $49 and worth well over $200. But for watching this video today, I'm going to give you an even better deal. Remember, you could take what I talked about on this video and try to improve your diabetes. But chances are you're going to spend 100 times what you'll spend today because of the medical reports, studies, and journals you'll have to subscribe to. It makes more sense to pay a one-time investment to learn how to safely, naturally, and permanently reduce your diabetes symptoms for once and for all. As I said, it's my mission to help you and a million others to live a long, healthy, and happy life. Always there for your wife and kids. Because of my mission to help 1 million people, I'm only asking for a one-time fee of just $39. That's right. For just $39, you'll receive the safe, natural methods I learned to reduce my diabetes symptoms by 90%, plus all the bonuses. In this program, you'll learn every trick I've used to control my blood sugar, increase brown fat, and enjoy perfect blood sugar readings. This is the only solution for reducing diabetes anywhere. I use this information to reduce my diabetes by 90%, so that you can feel like you don't even have diabetes. And you can do it in just 4 short weeks. I want your kids and family to be thrilled that you'll be around for a long time for them. Picture their smiling faces as you're giving them the news. Isn't that worth more than $39? Plus, there's no risk at all to just try it out. That's right, just get this program and try it out. Take 60 days to test out my techniques. If you don't find your blood sugar readings improving in the first week, if you're not seeing a lower blood sugar reading in a very short time, I insist you ask for your money back. No questions, no hassles. So look below this video right now. Click on the orange button that says Add to Cart now. Believe me, it makes no sense to keep taking dangerous and expensive medications just to cover up your symptoms. It makes more sense to reduce your diabetes naturally. Compare $39 to what you'd spend in a month on your medications, test strips, insulin needles, or any special diabetic food, and you'll see that you're coming out way ahead here. Again, there's no risk. Just try it out, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. So go ahead and click on the orange Add to Cart button and order this program. You've been given a second chance. Make sure you take it. Click the Add to Cart button and see improvements in your blood sugar readings this week. Next week, you'll see the number drop even more. Look, it's not every day you get a second chance, a new lease on life, but you've got one here. So take it while you can, okay? Decide to take back your life and enjoy the happy times with your family. Stop spending all of that money on test strips, needles, and harmful medications. Save it instead for your retirement or taking your family on a nice vacation. If you're ready to reduce your diabetes symptoms by 90% and do it in the next 4 weeks or less, go ahead and click the orange Add to Cart button. Remember, there's no need to struggle. There's no need to spend a year trying to find this stuff like I did. There's no need to give up the foods you like. There's no reason to keep pricking your finger for tests. There's no reason to wait in line at the pharmacy spending money on something that just masks your symptoms and worse, poisoning you in the process. Click the button below and get the safe, natural, proven way to reduce diabetes right at home using inexpensive ingredients you can get at your grocery store. Again, do this for your kids. Do this for your family. But more importantly, do it for yourself. You deserve it. When you click that button, I want you to feel the hope and optimism I felt when I finally uncovered these tips and techniques. I want you to enjoy the healthy, energetic, happy life you deserve and the person your family deserves to have at home. If you have a family, you have a responsibility to be there for them. You can't do that if you're sick or suffering or dead from diabetes. Take the action necessary to keep you around for your family. Click on the orange button that says Add to Cart. Right after you order, you'll be able to download the program and the special bonuses for ordering today. Don't put it off a second longer. Unless you take action right now, you might do what so many people do and never take action. Too many people just put it off for a few days, and before you know it, those days turn to weeks, then months, and then years. So do the smart thing and order right now. Don't wait, okay? Click the orange Add to Cart button, and let's save you from taking costly medications that are killing your liver and kidneys. Is this how you want to live? Just surviving to go through it again the next day? You have the chance to reduce type 1 and type 2 diabetes symptoms in as little as 4 weeks. If you're ready, go ahead and click the Add to Cart button and grab Diabetes Reducer now.
Hit the button now. You have nothing to lose and a new life to gain. I want you to know something. The pharmaceutical companies are hoping you don't buy this. They want you to be enslaved to them. Their drugs, strips, and monitors. Don't let them win. Fight back and join us in the eradication of diabetes once and for all. And it starts with you. Hit the button below now. Your chance to order will end as soon as this video completes, which will happen in seconds. Still here? Maybe you've got some questions that need answering. Let's get to a few of the most common ones. Question number 1. What exactly am I buying? Is it a book? Is it being shipped to me? This is an online training course. It takes place 100% on our website, in our members-only area. You are welcome to download the books and print out the materials if you'd like to hold them in your hands. Having a course you can consume online has a few advantages over a traditional book, which is why we do it. It saves you money on shipping and handling, and it also gives you the chance to start benefiting immediately after you order. Question number 3. I have a busy schedule. Will this take much of my time? No. The entire program will take approximately 4 to 6 minutes per day, sometimes less. You will only need to put in this time until your blood sugar stabilizes. After that, the regimen will be much, much shorter. Question number 4. Diabetes is in my family for many generations. Can this still work for me? Absolutely. Every person, no matter how genetically predisposed they are, has the hormones necessary to regulate blood sugar properly. We show you how to wake up these hormones so your body naturally and quickly switches to a fully glucose-balanced state. Got more questions? As soon as you get inside, 95% of them will all be answered, and there's really no cost to get in. So hit the button below now and fill out the form. Oh, and for the other 5% of questions we might not answer, for that we have experts standing by ready and waiting for your support request. You can ask them anything under the sun about diabetes, the course, your order, and more. You will have a knowledgeable, articulate, friendly, and satisfying response within 24 hours or less. Remember, once you've been through the course, which you can probably finish by the end of the day, you will still have 59 more days to decide if you want to pay. And we actually encourage you to not pay and get your money back, if you feel that that's what you want to do. I've risked my career to bring it to you, and you won't need to pay a penny for it unless you want to. That means this should be the easiest decision of your life. But it's up to you to make it. Don't wait, because diabetes isn't waiting. It's eating away at your vital organs as we speak. If you want to beat it, you will have to take action. Only action can save your health and ensure a long and bright future. Think about it. You have a simple act in front of you right now that could cause the biggest change in your life that you've ever had. It could turn your current life into one with more joy, more freedom, a life without painful needles or expensive medication, with less worry, less pain, and less doctor visits. Claim that. It's what you deserve. Click the button below, fill out the form on the next page, and let the good side of your life begin.